All right, in this video, we're going to take our basic boilerplate sketch and we are going to modify it just slightly, a few more functions to get the LEDs blinking on our controller. And then when we hook our controller up to the computer, transfer our code, we should see some LEDs blinking on and off on the main board. This is a very good starting point anytime you do a project, just to make sure that your board is working and that you can actually get your code from your program, your IDE, to the actual hardware. So what we're going to do is use our boilerplate sketch from last class or last lesson, and we're going to modify the loop to blink a red and actually we'll just do the red. We'll just blink the red LED on and off. So if you look in your book and below this video, you'll see that there's a function called set red LED, and it only takes a variable of a Boolean type. So either on or off, high or low. So what we're going to do is type in Prizm to access our controller. We're going to go period set red LED. You'll notice that the function notation, the function turned orange. We're going to go bracket, bracket, and semicolon. Okay. So if you look in your book, you'll see that this function takes an argument. An argument is a way to pass data into a function. Okay, so we'll use arguments and functions a few times before you start building your own functions with arguments. So it's a good idea to get used to how this works. A red LED can either be on or off. Okay, it's digital, so we're going to type in high. We saw this kind of idea in grade 9 by being on. Okay, so the power cycle is up and it lights up the LED. We need to give the prism some time to stay on. So we're going to just use the delay statement at this point in the course. And we're going to delay the functionality or the processing on our computer by a second. So it'll be 1,000 microseconds. We'll put our argument in brackets. Again, delay is a function that takes an argument of time, and the argument is in microseconds. Okay, sorry, milliseconds, not microseconds, milliseconds. So 1,000 milliseconds equals a second. After the 1 second delay, we're then going to reattach, or sorry, we're going to call back Prizm and say set red LED low. Okay, so by setting it low, that'll turn it off. And again, we need to allow the Prizm time to do this. And it's not that the Prizm needs time to actually execute the function. This is going to happen in a like microsecond or 5 microseconds. It's going to be super fast. But if we don't actually delay the process of the loop, it's going to jump right back up here, turn the red LED on, wait a second, and then before our eyes can even visually see the red LED turn off, it's going to jump back to the top of the loop. Because remember, the loop cycles over and over and over again until the computer is told to stop or we run out of power. So we're going to use that delay statement once more, 1,000 microseconds, sorry, milliseconds, and we're going to end it with a semicolon. Okay. So this code right here is all you need to get your red LED on the board blinking. The red LED is on the bottom left down by the green and red button. And what we're going to need to do is go up to Tools, switch our board. I can see that I have a board from a previous lesson up here. We're going to switch our board to the Tetrix board or an Arduino, depending on what you have. On this computer, we are going to just use the Arduino Uno. Okay, so on your computer, you do the same. You look for Arduino Genuino Uno. We're going to set that. Come back in here, double check it says Arduino Uno. And on your computer, it should say port. You're going to hook up with your USB cable, your Prizm, to an open USB port. And then when it says port, you're going to select the highest number. I don't have a Prizm here with me right now while shooting this video, so trust me, it does work. Port, select the highest number. Then what you can do is compile the code by clicking on this check mark. I'm not going to do it in the video because it will make the video longer. When it comes back, if everything's good, you'll say so down here, and if there's any errors, it'll show up down here as well in the console window. So if you do have an error, call me over. It's most likely just a semicolon or an open bracket or a bracket that's not paired up. Go back and double check your code. Remember, don't just copy and paste at this point in the course. You want to get used to typing, comfortable with typing, because it will help you long term. When you're happy with your code and no errors come back, you go ahead and hit that arrow. It'll send it to the computer, or sorry, the microcontroller, our Prizm. And just as a reminder, you won't see any code be executed on your Prizm until you hit the green button. Okay, so once your Arduino IDE comes back and says code has been successfully pushed, no errors are down here, everything's happy, click the little green button on your Prizm and you should start seeing a red LED blink.